Money masquerades. All right. Money masquerades. Businesses mask as other businesses. So with this slide, I have three different businesses, and these businesses come from different industries. And you can see how they've been masqueraded as something else. Okay. Tesla. Tesla is one of the biggest companies in the world. Elon Musk, you know, CEO, pretty cool cars for people. And honestly, I believe, and I think a lot of people believe, it's more of a data mining company than it is a EV company, or it's more of a data mining company for the government than a Tesla, I mean, an EV company trying to save the world. And, there's a lot of reasons for that. Think about it. Think about what Google was starting out and Google Maps was. They merged together and they mapped out everything so they could get a nice mapping of the world so you can see wherever it is. So with the Tesla EVs, think about the user experience. When you're driving a Tesla, everything you do is a data point. Think about that. Everything you do is a data point. Um, when you touch the radio, when you hit the AC, when you hit the heat, when that happens, Tesla's on the back end, they'll be able to curate the experience. It's almost like what Apple and Spotify does for your music, but it's for your driving experience within that EV. You can't get that inside a regular gas powered vehicle normally. I guess you can make it a smart vehicle with gas power, but that's what Tesla's doing. And who's behind Tesla is the government subsidies. And I have articles here, especially when you look at the PowerPoint and you take a look at the notes. It's all these they've had these all these subsidies. And so let me just go real quick to this article real quick. All right. Tesla has received more than $3.2 billion worth of direct and indirect California subsidies and market mechanisms since 2009, according to an estimate from Newsom's office. That's a lot. That's a lot. 3.2 billion, and that's only been going up, and it's probably going to keep going up because they're going to keep continuing to get subsidies because everybody's trying to get over to EVs, especially California. So definitely take a look at these articles. The single largest source of indirect state subsidies Tesla has received are ZEV credits and an estimated value of worth more than 2.48 billion, according to Newsom's office. Wow, it's a lot. So that's Tesla. Okay, now we're going to talk about Starbucks and how they operate like a bank. Now, this is a really cool article to check out because it breaks down how, with their rewards program. So, when you sign up to their rewards program, you upload money to that into their system. And so, at that point, the only way you can redeem that money is via coffee or any of the free things you can get or discounted. And so they have all that cash from all their customers. And I believe it said it was like 1.2 billion or like 1.6 billion inside that rewards program. That's a lot of money. And they can leverage that as collateral for growth in the company somewhere. So that's huge. Let's check out that article real quick. So, how is Starbucks similar to a bank? Just like how a bank collects cash deposits from its customers, Starbucks collects large amounts of cash from its members through its loyalty program. Interestingly, this amount is greater than the cash held by some banks. In 2016, Starbucks held 1.2 billion in customer deposits, higher than banks like Customers Banks, Green Dot, which held 780 billion. Oh wait, 780 million and a half a million respectively. I don't know why they just didn't put millions with that. So look, Starbucks holds more cash than many banks. Consumer cash held by institutions in 2016. Look at that. Customers Bank, Green Dot, the Bank Corp, American Express. So I mean, That's rare. That's rare territory for a coffee company, you know. So that's an illusion. That's a masquerade. That's how the business works. You have to figure out ways how can we keep generating money and keep it within your business, and that's a good way to do it. You have rewards programs for your customers, so they get incentivized to keep, buying things for you and stay within that Starbucks family. Um, so that's great. However, unlike a bank, which needs to pay interest on customer deposits, Starbucks does not. As such, Starbucks members effectively provide the company with 1.7 billion loan at 0% interest. It's pretty good. Additionally, Starbucks earns a profit from breakage, the amount that is unused from gift cards every year. Wow. Earn profit from breakage. They that unused gift cards from every year. That's crazy. This amounted around to 164.5 million in 2021, or around 10% of all stored value bank balances. Wow, interest free. That's smart. They haven't really had any interest with using that, but maybe in the future, if they get industrious with it, they can do something with it. So that's a pretty awesome article that everybody should check out. Walgreens Prohibition whiskey. This is another one. So we've already went through the EVs, the cars, data mining, and how they're trying to get the user experience, where are they going, and whatnot. And obviously, the government is back behind that. They want to know things like that. We've talked about Starbucks, how a coffee company can be run like a bank at interest-free rates, which is insane. And so we're going to get into the pharmaceuticals and the spirits of things with Walgreens and how they grew their business via whiskey and selling legal whiskey medicinally during Prohibition. So let's get into that article. This $75 billion business was built selling whiskey during Prohibition legally. So let's just get into some good stuff. All right. In 1920, when the Volstead Act was passed, America dried up, right? No, not quite. Besides all the bootleg, Tommy Gun, and Al Capone booze, two classes of alcohol were still legally permitted under Prohibition: sacramental and medicinal. According to Section 6 of the Volstead Act, which makes for a surprisingly good read, provided a drink or two. That's what he's saying, the article's saying. A person may, without a permit, purchase or use liquor for medicinal purposes when prescribed by a physician as herein provided. So if you get a prescription from a physician, you can get it for medicinal purposes. Think of like a med card, right? And whatnot. So how does this all lead back to Walgreens? All right, that friendly pharmacy chain that we've all been to. So it all comes back to Charles R. Walgreen, and it was founded in Chicago, 1901. And without whiskey, it had about 20 stores in 1919. Okay, but once Prohibition came into effect, the business started to increase drastically. By 1929, it had over 500 outlets, and the way Walgreens has said it, it was nothing with due to do with the whiskey. They said they had a good management team, and they also had the malt milkshake, but which is crazy. Um, it was about a 2,500% increase in their business during the prohibition, right? So you could get prescriptions via old age and a lot of different other things. I would take a look at this article. Very key. So now let's get into the gematria of these money masquerades. Business masquerading to gain equals 303 in English ordinal. That's 33 because 0 is just a value placeholder, so 33. Then we have Starbucks points reward is a bank. Tesla is a EV cars data mining company. Stock market is a big game of masquerade. That all equals 333 in English ordinal. So you see the importance of that. And all three of those also equal 189 in reverse reduction. So 2 out of 4 of the base ciphers, they have connections, all right, and they're big ones. Government subsidies help Tesla, the stock ticker symbol TSLA, 333 and 117 in English reduction. Big. The government behind business masquerading as other. We have 555 ordinal. So why I chose that in this situation, while I was looking at that, obviously it's a repeating five number. But in the reduction, we also have that 222. In a lot of senses on the digital clock, they flip, two and fives flip. So when I saw that, I'm like, wow, that's Masquerades. 22s and new shoes. You see that. And I've talked about that on my Discord before, how 55 and 22 are the same on digital clocks. So that's very important. The government behind business masquerading as other. 555 English ordinal, 222 in English reduction. 22 in new shoes. You see that. Then in Sumerian, we have 300. We have 3,330. When you have take off that zero, that's 333. So big numbers here, and you know, that confirms a lot. Then we have government equaling 133 English ordinal, 52 reduction, 137 in reverse ordinal, and 47 in reverse reduction. All big numbers, authoritative numbers. Obviously, for 133, we want to see that in stock investing, and obviously, most government-funded companies do well in the stock market. That's usually how it goes. That's why Tesla has skyrocketed. That's why Walgreens, when the government started cracking down on whiskey, it gave Walgreens a lane still. So that's huge. Then we have a legal drug dealer. When we're talking about Walgreens, a legal drug dealer, 133 English ordinal. Big Pharma masqueraded via Walgreens, 1920. We have 331 English ordinal. So we have those 33s. Remember, when we're using the parent number rule, we could just take that one off, and you can see that. So it's much like zero, because remember, one and two can just be seen as parents of numbers, not actual numbers. All right. We have a pint of whiskey, medicinal alcohol, Walgreens whiskey, all equally 73 in reduction. So you see the connection there and how that energetically matches up. We also have Walgreens legally bootlegging in 1920, 303 English ordinal. Business masquerading to gain. So you see that connection there. You see how this all is connecting. Walgreens' early success was due to booze, 137 in reduction. Amazing. A lot of connections here to work with. And hopefully you guys, when you see this, you guys are picking it up. This is a big one. The government behind businesses masquerading as other. You have those 22s and new shoes, 2255. Then, Walgreens legally bootlegging, 1920, 303 English ordinal. Business masquerading to gain, 303 English ordinal. Wow.